part of this project is to build a new formation center, a new catechetical center. Many of those classrooms will be occupied by catechesis of the Good Shepherd, but there'll also be classrooms for adult ed. There'll be areas that are flexible, kind of like this, with the moving wall, where you can make one big room into 3 small or two larger. For RCIA, for our Hispanic ministry, they have need for bigger classrooms oftentimes that we have. And oftentimes if this is booked and the FLC is booked, which happens, right, they're upstairs and it's not big enough and it's hot up there. It just doesn't work as well as we would like. So there'll be flexible space. There'll be opportunities for people to sign out rooms for various purposes. So we really do, going from 550 to 950, right? We're just breaking the surface. When the Amazon headquarters moves to Grapevine, that's going to bring 50,000 more people, right? So, but those are things we should be thinking about. So we have 2 sizes of classrooms that we're kind of looking at. If we reach $5.7 million, which I know we can, we're going to build a big classroom that's really going to, I was having problems getting it to print out. So did he hand out the smaller one? Yeah. So if you kind of look at that, that's basically 7 classrooms, 6 classrooms with an adoration chapel. Wait, how many is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 with an adoration chapel at the corner. So I'll talk about the adoration chapel in a moment. So, I wish I would have been able to get this bigger or get more, but I was having printer problems today. Oh, my computer died. I plan on this. I have a PowerPoint that's awesome. And my computer is, and I even prayed to St. Isidore, and she didn't help. So, I know, right? It's several more classrooms, but also it has a lot more flexible space. This, I would just leave empty for now, right? We need, one of the things that irritates me as a pastor at every parish I've been to, or as an associate, is the one generation never thinks about what they're going to need in 10 years, right? We should be different than that, right? We should always be thinking 10 and 20 and 50 years ahead, right? And so this space here, I know you can't see that, I'm sorry. It's a big blank space, and that can be changed in anything we want. In the meantime, it can be used for youth ministry, it can be a youth pit, it can be lots of stuff. Here, right, it can either be 1 large classroom or 2 small with breaking it up. Down here, plenty of room for CGS and all the needs we'll have for CGS, plus 2 other meeting rooms. And it's got bathrooms and elevators, an adoration chapel, which again I'll talk about in a moment. But that will set St. Francis up for, I think, like 20 years in the future, right? So that's the big picture. That's the big picture plan. That's 5.7. To do the smaller one that you see in front of you, that we need to raise about 4.5 million. So for only $1.3 million more, or $2 million, we get that much more room, which if we can do it, we should do it, right? Most of us, and I say most of us, not all of us, we inherited all the, except for you guys and some others, we inherited all the beautiful things we got, right? Somebody else built them, somebody else inspired them, somebody else paid for them, right? In my thing, it's kind of like, okay, now it's our turn. Now, some of you are like, wait, we've been here for 40 years. We paid for both. And I'm like, and I acknowledge that and love you for it. Now you get a chance to pay for 3. And then the Adoration Chapel, which to me really cannot right? You heard a nice homily, I hope, right? You cannot overemphasize the transformative power of adoration. And my goal and I truly believe the Lord has placed this in my heart, right, that we have perpetual adoration. It will change the face of who we are as a parish. And I don't say that lightly, or it's not one of my jokes, right? It is, if we got perpetual adoration, we could get enough people to do perpetual adoration. We could get enough people to sign up. Put your seatbelt on, because this parish is going to, it's already awesome. It's going to be like Superman. But we need a space to do that. You know, people have said, well, let's turn this space into Adoration Chapel. Well, okay, but building walls, and we'd have to build egresses and ingresses, right? It has to have an emergency exit and a main entrance. It has to have a bathroom, right? It has to have security. It can't access the rest of the building. This just won't work, right? It just won't work. And this is a great room, right, to use for this and many other things that we already use it for. Well, let's make the back chapel one. Well, I checked in. To run the plumbing to get over to that would cost about as much as to build it's several $100,000. Not to build the whole building, but it would be impossible. And guess what they would have to do to get the plumbing over there? Jackhammer from that bathroom all the way over through the church and into the chapel. And we're not doing that. We're not doing it. Plus, we need that room at 10 o'clock. And we're going to need even more once we have an adoration chapel. So, it's just not possible. Right? It's just not possible. So, and we need a space. If you look on on the small one, it's got its own exit. It's got an entrance that can be closed off to the rest of the building very simply. Has a unisex bathroom in there, a little storage area. So it's really everything we need for adoration. And again, I cannot overemphasize the importance of adoration of the Blessed Sacrament.